Hello and welcome to the program. On this World Day Against Trafficking in Persons 2025, nations are once again called to confront a crime that hides in plain sight. Behind the promises of jobs, education, or safety lies a shadow network. Traffickers who prey on the vulnerable and profit from stolen futures. Every year, millions are trapped, lured, moved, or exploited across borders and within communities undetected using sophisticated networks along dangerous transit routes. These promises often lead to modern-day slavery, sexual exploitation, forced labor, or criminal activity. Young Nigerians also fall prey to traffickers, often under the guise of overseas opportunities. Now, the International Labour Organization estimates that 27.6 million people are currently trapped in human trafficking worldwide. Experts warn that widespread ignorance fuels this crisis. They are calling for stronger legal frameworks, international cooperation, and a robust victim support system to combat trafficking and protect vulnerable populations. On this episode, I'll be speaking to victims of trafficking to hear their stories and their road to recovery. Jeremiah David is my first guest. Thank you for joining us, Jeremiah. Now, you crossed the desert into Libya, and that's a known human trafficking hotspot, hoping to reach Germany. Can you walk us through how your journey started and what motivated you to leave your home?
First of all, my name is Jeremiah Delu. I'm from Edo State, and as an Edo man or as a Benin person, it's our culture, it's our tradition to travel. We love to travel so much, and it looks like a culture that every house normally have a representative, either in Europe, in America, any part of the world. So we find it joy to travel. So when I finished school from Auchi Polytechnic, Auchi, of course, Nigerian factor, there was no job, and we're looking for how to get job. You know, in Nigerian factor, once you finish school, the next thing they'll be asking you for you to get job, the next thing you'll be providing for your family. So my own case was not different, it was the same. So I was asked to get job so that at least I can support my younger ones, right? So looking for job, there was no job forthcoming. So I had to look for what to do on myself, at least to create employment or to start something that I can begin to have one or two money to take care of myself and every other person around me. So I started up a laundering and a dry cleaning business. So God was so kind, the business was moving very well. So I had a lot of people who have traveled before, people who have not traveled before, both in the private and government sector. So from there, I have a customer that normally patronizes me. So anytime the customer comes, it gives me the change. So I'm really happy to see that kind of customer like coming to my place. So I know he's a good traveler. He travels a lot. Anytime he travels, he bring his clothes to me for me to come and dry clean. So anytime he travels, you bring the clothes that he used in his vacation, bring them to me. You know, by the time he's going again, we pick those ones, bring. So he has been traveling from Europe, from Germany, all over Europe and part of Asia. So there came this day, he came and asked me how much am I dry cleaning his clothes for him. As at then, it was around 150 naira that I was dry cleaning the clothes. So he asked me that money is too cheap. That in Germany, where it's coming from, that one cloth is being dry cleaned for 7 euro. So I was like 7 euro. I was like 7 euro. He said yes. So you know, asked me how much am I dry cleaning the clothes for him, and I told him 150. I was like, wow. So when he was asking me too, I was like scared. I don't know if he wants to feel that I'm cheating him, right? So he was now telling me that in Germany, where it's coming from, that the person that usually help him to dry clean his clothes, dry clean for him for 7 euro. From my own mind, I've already done with my calculator 150 times 7. So what it means is that if I'm washing one clothes for 150 here in Nigeria, if I'm washing that same clothes in Germany, I will be getting 2,700 thereabouts. So I was interested. So he told me that he's willing to help me to get there because he sees that I'm a very hardworking person. So that's how the process started. And he said he's willing to help me, that if I can just raise 300,000 naira, that will help me to complete the remaining part of it, because he sees me very hardworking. He sees me that I'm somebody that, that can do more. So, that year I had to gather all I had, the thrift I was doing, the people that were working with me, I didn't even pay them because, I don't want travel now, so that kind of stuff. So I put everything together, and he gave me just a week. He didn't even give me time. I had to give myself a week to gather those money. So immediately I gave him the money. That was on a Friday night. He asked me to move for the second day, which was on a Saturday. So I was not the one begging. I say, so I've not even arranged my things. I just had to look for where to get the money. So I remember what he told me then. He said, if you are ready, I am ready. You are ready, that's why you pay the money. So immediately you pay the money, you are moving immediately. So I was not the one even begging him. He said, sir, please, can we go on a Monday so that at least by Saturday I can put my things together. By Sunday, as a dry cleaner leaving Nigeria to Germany to go and work, you need to have some samples, some shirts, some, iron clothes. So that's how I was introduced to go for the journey, and that's how I started.
Now, at what point did it become clear to you that you were being trafficked?
Okay, my trafficking started step by step. So I didn't realize on time until when I got to Libya, because after I paid the 300,000 naira to him, I boarded, and he said I should go to a place in the Aduawa side of the Edo State or Benin City, that I should board the bus going to Sokoto, that I'm going to go. He explained that I was going to go through land, right? So when I got to Sokoto, from Sokoto to when we got to welcome to Sokoto, first thing I saw was that the immigration asked us to wait. They asked all the vehicle that I was in and every other person to come down. So when we came down, they were asking us where we were going to. I told them I was going to Sokoto because they had already pre-informed me what they are going to ask me, right? So I told them I was going to Sokoto. Every other person is there, but I'm a light-skinned person. Then they now said people that live in Sokoto, they are not light-skinned, that they know I'm going to Europe, that I should just tell them the truth. So right there, they were beating us to tell them the truth. They were searching us. They had to strip us naked for them, those people, because they know that people are passing through that place to carry drugs and all that. So they were just trying to do all they could do to make sure they stop us. So I had to call him and explain to him, this is where we are, this is what is happening. And it was just less than 1 minute. He just told me, when immediately I called him, he said, no problem, that he's going to get back to me. So immediately somebody was already by that same spot waiting to pick me from that spot. The person just came and said, who is Jerry? I said, I'm the one. He now said I should follow him. So the people that were coming together, the 18 passengers that were coming together for Benin, immediately we get to that spot when they were harassing us. That I call him. That guy came, just asked who is Jerry, and I said I was the one. The guy just picked me out of their midst, entered his own vehicle, and zoomed off. In my own mind, I was like, oh my God, this is the connection I've been looking for in all my life. So this guy is tight, right? So I left them, I entered his vehicle, and we zoom off to Niger. So from Niger, we go to Yemen, or we go to Yemen, they welcomed us. How are you doing? I said, I'm fine. Asked people in Nigeria, I said, I'm fine. Where are you going to? I'm going to Germany. Oh, Germany, Germany. Germany is far. You have to go and sleep so that you can have strength to continue the journey. And I said, okay. So when I sleep that night, waking up the next morning, they told me that the 300K that I paid to that guy like 4 or 5 days ago, which was on Friday, that the money has expired, that I need to pay another money that will take me from Yemen to Germany. So to me, I want to progress, I want to move money. I still had extra with me, because anytime I'm trying to go for anything, if you tell me something is 100 naira, I will make sure I have 300 naira. So that should, in case it's not enough, I know I already have more than enough to. So that's how we did it. It happens in Niger, it happens in Agadez, it happens in Libya. So when we got to Libya, that's when I know that, okay, I have been trafficked now, because getting to Libya, first thing I saw a whole over, if I'm not mistaken, over 700 Nigeria and other countries there. So immediately I entered the place, he asked me, are you from? I said, from Edo State. He said, Edo State, Edo. I should go to that corner that my state persons are sitting there. So when I got there, the people I met there prevented them from talking to us like, how far was the journey? You know, when you get to a new place and you meet a fellow Nigerian, first they tell you, how far now, how home now, how people are home, you know, you got to talk and interact. But these guys were being instructed not to talk to us. So they were just looking at us just the way I'm looking at you and you're not talking. So I'm trying to ask, where are we? What's the name of this place? And nobody's ready to say anything. So, okay, what am I going to do now? How do we live here? How many days do people stay here before they move? Because I know it's a transit thing here. But then nobody was ready to talk to me. My mind was, beginning to recollect. So what they did later in the evening was that they had to ask all of us that came that night that we should follow them. So in the morning we followed them. They were taking us around the building. It was a massive building. So they were seeing us blood stains on the wall. They were showing us bullets that people tried to escape from this place, that they shot them. Those are the bloods you have seen on the wall. These gun bullets is where, when they shot there, they show us different things. First of all, they had to put that fear in us. So when we finished that environmental tour, that was when my mind was not telling me that, oh my God, Jerry, bless you, don't enter one chance like this. So how do I live here? So that was when I knew. So getting to the next morning after the tour, they asked every other person that we meet there yesterday that they said they should not speak to us. They asked all of them to come out and they were asking them to call who will come for the ransom. So what they do is if you have been truncated or kidnapped or trafficked, let me use it that way. If you have been trafficked there, what they do is for you to be released, you have to call somebody that will come for your ransom, that will pay for your ransom. So what they do is they will strip the persons naked. You sleep with your flat tummy on the ground and you face your legs, as in your toes up like this. So they will ask you, do you want to call either your father or your mother? So they'll prefer you to call them female gender because they know female gender has, soft heart. So once they call the person and the person picks from the other end, they'll start flogging the person in Libya, and the person they are calling will be hearing the sound that they are actually flogging the person. So all these things happen before us, the first 2 days that we arrived, to let us know where we are at the present moment. So when I saw all those people, that was when I knew that, oh my God, Jerry, either you are traffic or you are trafficking or anything. That's when I know that I was in a big soup. Yeah.
That must have been a very shocking realization. Now, can you describe the kind of work or, conditions that you were forced into?
Okay, when I was there, because I was trafficked, I was not working. I was only asked to call for my release, which all through I was there, I didn't work. So, but after I left that tranque or that trafficking, then that was when I now worked. We're in the camp. There's a place we call camp in Supata, so they have to pick us from that place. They'll take us to the mortuary to go and clean the mortuary. Sometimes when a boat capsizes in the sea, right, they will come to the camp because to go and bury those Nigerians or those citizens that died at the bank of, because once the boat capsized on the Mediterranean Sea floats back the corpse back to the dry land. So those were actually the works that I did, and it's all called Shogo. Early morning we would go to Shogo to look for a way to survive because it was a no man's land that we were not understanding their language, we were not understanding the environment. So what we are just looking for is just what we can feed on while on the traveling, so that when we get to where we are going to, which is Germany, we can be able to bounce back again, basically.
And what then would you describe as, the most difficult, or would you say, or should I say, traumatic part of that experience for you?
So the most difficult part for this experience was the fact that when I was leaving home, I could not tell anybody, right? Because I kept it as a secret. He make me, that my customer make me to understand that if you want to do something good like this, or maybe you want to travel abroad, you don't need to tell anybody. And me, I'm the daddy, I'm the omoget inside. If you even shout for me, I'll cry. So I was unable to tell anybody. So as at when I was in Libya, when I was trafficked, I called my dad to for my ransom, for my release, that this is what, because they were the one that called my dad and say, your son Jeremiah is here, wants to speak to you. Immediately, my dad just declined and say, Ole, you people have called me again, wrong number, wrong number. So then I felt pain. So it was difficult for me to come out from that place on time. And it took me time for me to even heal from that difficulty, because people that I trust that could come for my rescue, they didn't come for my rescue because I didn't tell them this was what I was actually putting myself into. So if I have told them, I believe it will not be difficult for them. They will know that, okay, my son told me that he's going to so and so place, so he needs help and will come for his help. So it's one of the difficult things I feel. Yeah.
Tell us, how did you eventually escape or receive help, and what steps have you taken, to rebuild your life, both personally and professionally?
So how I was able to come out was that I had to still call my elder sister that had to pay for my release about 3,000 Libyan dinars. Then to Nigeria is about 300,000 naira that was paid for my release. So immediately I was released, I asked some questions, how to continue. So coupled with the fact that the work that I was doing, they would come and, Nigeria, if you won't carry me to the mortuary now, I will cry, I will run away, I will not want to enter. Coupled with the fact that I had no choice, I had to go to mortuaries to go and clean up mortuaries, bury some kind of persons. So those kind of work is what naturally I will not be able to do in Nigeria, right? So I just had to advise myself, bro, if where you are going to is causing more hindrance. Where you are coming from, they are not fighting there. So I had to retrace my back, coming back. And when I made up my mind to come back, I had to meet with International Organization for Migration, which is IOM. So IOM helping facilitating my return back to Nigeria. So coming to Nigeria as volunteer for IOM for the Migrant as Messengers project, from the Compass project, for a lot of projects that we've worked together, and that has made me to grow to have my own organization, which is called Voice of Migrant Association, to advocate for safe and regular pathways to travel, right? So that is what we've been doing presently in our own organization, which is Voice of Migrant Association. And Voice of Migrant Association is a community of returned migrants who have like-minded experience, who have gone through the same journey. They've experienced what I also experienced. So sharing their testimonies or talking about what has happened to them, people learn from our mistakes and they are making or taking the right step to migrate legally. Yeah.
Well, explain to us now how your recovery journey looked like, has been like since gaining your freedom.
My recovery journey has been from one step to another. Yeah, it's not easy to recover from that shock. Yeah, and at first, I have economical challenges for me to recover, because coming back to Nigeria and you want to look for job and somebody's asking you, where have you in your CV, where have been you in the past 2, 3 years, and you say you travel. Say travel to where? You know, said I went to Libya. And you hear the employer telling you, Libya, no, everybody that goes to Libya, there are people that are not serious, they don't have sense. And because of that alone, that you mentioned that you went to Libya during the interview session, and the employer will just tell you that I don't want to employ anybody from Libya in my firm. So psychologically affected me, and I really don't know how to come out, not until when I met one of my counselor, which is Mr. Osita Osemene, that actually boost the me today. And recovering through his teaching, right, has really made me who I am, and has made me to even grow from who I came back as a returnee to now become an advocate and fight against human trafficking and irregular migration. So it has been from one step to another. And I am thanking God for making that to happen, because a lot of people came back and they've not healed, they've not recovered from what has happened to them all over. But look at me here today. At least I'm on TV sharing my story. Why some persons have returned years ago and they cannot share their stories to educate people about what is going on about irregular migration.
And finally, now that you are an advocate in the fight against human trafficking, what key message would you like people, especially those considering irregular migration, to understand about human trafficking?
So, what I want them to understand, what I want them to know is that they should watch out for a lot of red flags that I'll be mentioning right now, because I saw those red flags, right? I just felt that because I'm from Edo State and in my state, everybody, each house must have a representative. So because of that, my family too must break that barrier, must be there. I was not looking at how I am going to go, right? Now, there are some things I want to mention. There are red flags that people need to. Number one, if it's too good to be true, it's a red flag. Some people will promise you heaven and earth. Imagine somebody telling you leaving Nigeria to go and work in Germany and you get 4,000 euros as your monthly salary. Now, the people who are there, who have already been there, they don't have document. They don't even get up to 2,000 or 3,000. So you that is just coming, you want to go and get 4,000. I don't know how possible that is, right? Now, if you move around Lagos, you see what you call it, some of the bridges. You see work in Dubai, work in Spain, work in Canada. Those things are red flags. You need to watch out for them. Somebody is telling you to go and be a nurse. There's a caregiving job in UK, in America. You yourself in Nigeria, you are not doing caregiving job. And the person is telling you just need a little training before you can, when you just get there, you integrate. My dear, you have to be skilled. You have to get a skill, do something, and the Bible says, study to make thyself approved. You have to do something, you have to be skillful before you can say you want to go. And if you must go, we are not saying that you cannot go. No. What we are saying that if you must migrate, you should migrate in the right way. Get your document. If you need more information about it, Google about the country, do a research, visit organizations like VOMA, like Voice of Migrant Association, visit the MRC, the Migrant Resource Center, to get information of travel-related matters. That place you want to go, don't let anybody deceive you to tell you, don't tell anybody. If a rich man wants to travel, or if people who are opportune wants to travel, you hear them say words like this: my flight is in 2 weeks' time. I'm traveling to Canada by next month. How come you want to travel? They are not telling you not to tell anybody. Those are deceptive words that they use to deceive people like us, and we fall the victim. So when you see these signs I just mentioned or explained, just know that they are scams. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no doubt, I'm sure that experience was life-changing and has shaped your perspective in profound ways. Jeremiah David, thank you very much for sharing your story with us and lending your voice against human trafficking. We truly appreciate. We'll take a short break now. When the program returns, we'll have another person share his ordeal. Stay with us.